Happy Sunday, everybody, and here are your Manchester United headlines on this nice, bright Sunday morning. Aaron Wan-BISSAKA made a make-weight for Olise deal. Casemiro to be sold. Are we surprised? Trying to save money again, Manchester United. And Ten Hag says that Manchester United have plenty to play for still this season in just the Premier League and the FA Cup. Trying to spin a little bit of a positive as the embargoed part of the press conference from Thursday is released today. We'll go through some of them quotes regarding the game that is tomorrow night and how big it is as well for Manchester United and Ten Hag in particular. Hello everyone, welcome to FUTV, Forever United TV. I'm Adam. It is Sunday morning, Sunday the 7th, 1 week into 2024, and United have still not played a game yet. It is weird, isn't it, how United have not played any football for what seems a bleeding age. It's actually painful. I mean, it's not painful in the fact that we know we're going to get disappointed and we haven't got that sort of miserable football life of following Manchester United around, but still, without football and your own team playing, there's just always something missing, isn't there? And I feel like that's what it is. FA Cup weekend, I feel disappointed so far. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you think about the FA Cup so far. I was talking on Top of the League earlier on how it has just sort of killed the momentum of the season. I feel it's got right in the way, but honestly, I feel like all the Premier League teams have played the strongest teams and are all getting through. There's no shocks. There's no sort of big surprise and big headline stories from the FA Cup. We may get one today. Obviously, we are going to get one. Arsenal or Liverpool will go out, obviously. But, yeah, nothing else has really gone on. And I feel like I think it has sort of stagnated the season a little bit. I don't like it. Get rid of it. Back to the Premier League next week. United have got some big games coming up. We talked about it last night. But, yeah, the news coming out from late last night is one of Manchester United again being linked with Michael Olise from Crystal Palace. First of all, guys, is that a player that you think will improve Manchester United? Get in the chat. I want to get your opinions on it. We may have a different crowd in today, different time, different part of the week. So anyone who hasn't been, or as they say, on Michael Olise and them links, get in the chat right now. Please get your comments in. I'll read as many out as I possibly can. But United apparently trying to be a little bit savvy and crafty in this deal by offering Aaron Wan-BISSAKA to Crystal Palace as a make-weight. I've put a poll up there now. United have two right-backs already. Does this kill two birds with one stone as such? In getting rid of a right-back, I think we need to make a decision on. If we are going to bring another one in, which we are rumoured to be doing, we need to have either Dalot or Wan-BISSAKA. I think we need to make a choice between them two. This has been going on long enough with Ten Hag now. I feel like he needs to decide which one is his number one right back, and the team needs to be built on that foundation of that back four when everyone is coming back fit. So if we do get rid of Wan-BISSAKA, Dalot's already got his new contract. It means we don't have to give Wan-BISSAKA a new deal. We could probably make a decent deal for Olise. How much will that take off the price? And it's a player that Crystal Palace know all too well because that's where Manchester United got him from in the first place. Does our link with Crystal Palace on that matter then help us as well within negotiations for Olise? But Wan-BISSAKA, I feel, is slightly ahead of Dalot for me from the last couple of seasons. Dalot started off like a steam train last season. I thought he was the number one. I thought he improved under Ten Hag, and I was giving him massive amounts of credit. I think he's gone backwards again this season. A couple of standout performances against Arsenal and Liverpool in particular for Dalot have just kept him up there a little bit. But I just feel defensively Manchester United are always better with Wan-BISSAKA rather than Dalot. Now losing Wan-BISSAKA, I feel it's not the end of the world for United. I think we can replace him. I do. Obviously, we've got the rumours about Frimpong and other right-backs. But Wan-BISSAKA, if he can help us bring in Olise, is that the right way for Manchester United to be moving forward? Is Olise the type of player we want? Obviously, he's going to come up with competition straight away. So I say, is he going to improve us? Is this a player that's going to come into our first team? Is he going to be a definite that's going to replace the likes of a Rashford or an Antony? That's what I want to know from you guys. Is he good enough to come straight in and sit a Rashford or an Antony down on the bench? In our opinions, yes, he would. And a lot of people are fed up with Antony and Rashford. So I just want you to take your opinion glasses off on your thoughts on them players and how you feel about them for now. Do you feel like Olise is good enough that Ten Hag cannot ignore him? And that's all being that Ten Hag is in situ come the end of the season as well. So Let me know what you think about him. I'm going to get into the chat straight away on this one and see what you guys think of Olise. Keep one. He can go forward and defensively he's good. Good ball distribution and at least he tries. He does. He's knuckled down. He's an embarrassment for Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford in my opinion. How he wasn't favourable with Ten Hag last season. But instead of just disappearing into the wilderness, he knuckled down, he trained hard and made it impossible for Ten Hag to leave him out. So I have to give WAN-BISSAKA credit for that. But yeah, I think the inconsistency with him with injuries as well was a little bit... He sort of really hampered his progression because I think he was playing really well towards the back end of last season. This season it's been a bit stop-start again, so I have been gutted that he has got injured this season. We knew the schedule before January. Adam, I couldn't care less about the FA Cup. Not happy. Are you then, sad sack? Your name precedes you on that one. Olise would definitely improve Manchester United. Anyone else on that? Boring Sundays I will take at my time of life. Fair point, Graham. We need to have a little bit of a break from the chaos, which is football. Some say John Murtough couldn't sell water to a bunch of dehydrated nomads in a desert. Some, quite a lot, probably would. They wouldn't use that term or that phrase, but yeah, I think a lot of people are of the opinion that John Murtough is useless. I think I helped with that with my videos this week. I definitely sort of pinpointed quite a lot of issues that have gone on in the last few years with him. I don't think we need Olise if we give Ahmad a long run of games. I think Ahmad is a real deal, give him playing time, says Tony. Ian says, the biggest improvement United can make at this point is replacing the manager. Obs, never picking Antony in the squad doesn't really need mentioning. Straight in on Ten Hag goes Ian there. Please give the video a like, guys. Let's get up to that 100 mark. Already 200 in the room with us. Thanks for joining me this Sunday morning here, or afternoon, evening, wherever it is you're watching in the world. Thanks for coming on and joining us here on FUTV. Do drop down in the description all the information regarding the merch, the memberships, and general subscribing to the channel and what's coming up is all there in the description, guys, as always. Thank you very much. Yeah, someone actually was talking on the top of the league saying they were going to definitely go and buy one of the FUTV mugs. I'm really disappointed. I mean, I put a post out on Twitter yesterday, or X, whatever you want to call it. Guys, if you're not following us on our new page on Forever United TV on Twitter, please do go across and give us a follow there as well. All the updates on videos and stuff and other news comes up on there, so you're keeping up to date with everything that's going on. But yeah, we had our first bit of merch, picture sent back. It was good to see. Great picture of someone wearing one of the long sleeve shirts. So yeah, that picture is over on X right now. I'll just call it Twitter. I can't be dealing with the X crap anymore. It just doesn't work, does it? But yeah, that's there. So go and have a look at that. Disappointed that they got theirs before I got mine. I mean, we're the ones that were bleeding, sending it out and organising it, and other people have got theirs before. Oh, God. Right back is the least of your problems. I'm not supposing it's a problem, the Saint. I'm not. It's more of, we're talking about Olise being made one of United's top targets, and we're looking to actually offload Aaron Wan-BISSAKA as part of the deal. So I think that's why we're talking about right back. There is Jonathan, who actually bought the top in the chat. Dalot plays better defensively when Varane plays. I think everyone plays better when Varane plays. I think that Liverpool game was a perfect example of that, Jonathan, actually. Stephanie says, Murtough, good for two things. Increasing his air miles and going on his jollies. Yes, I agree with that one. Neville White, even if we bought Olise in the summer, what's the guarantee that Erik ten Hag will not bench him for his favourite Antony? All comes down to whether Erik ten Hag is still in a job. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to keep saying it. He won't be in a job if he doesn't make Champions League football. I just don't think Manchester United can financially work without Champions League football. We already know how cash-strapped we are. So he has to do a lot. He really does. Mike Fergus, good morning, Adam. I hope you're well. My birthday was quiet last night. Next Sunday to Tuesday is my birthday weekend in Manchester. Can't wait to catch up with you again. Are you there for the Spurs game then, Mike? I will be there at Old Trafford. Hopefully, we'll catch up then, have a bit of a chat outside before or after the game. If anyone is at the game next weekend, do come over and see us outside Old Trafford. I'll remind you later, but we are looking to get a few more faces and a few more opinions on the channel as well. So if you're out and about, you want to have a say, come over and see us at the game against Spurs. We'll get you on and get your thoughts on the game and everything that's going on with United. The only thing keeping Erik ten Hag at United just now is financial fair play. We can't afford to boot him. Yeah, it's a fair point, Ian. Like I said, I think see the end of this season out with Ten Hag. I think he'll be gone by the end of it if we don't get Champions League, like I said. And then he's only got 1 year left on his contract. So I feel like that's when Manchester United will pull a trigger and we'll be able to afford pulling the trigger, really, more than anything. Do give the video a like, guys. Thanks for that, Edward. Adam, it depends on what you expect from United. In reality, we are a mid-table club with mid-table players. I remember Zaka, Dello are much of a muchness, whatever that word means, a muchness. It's like totally got confused with that message there, mate. Sorry. It just got a little bit confuddled, but I got the general gist of what you were saying. We have to accept that we are a mid-table team, and these sorts of players add to us in that way. They're just not good enough to take us to that next level. I think a lot of people have said that, and I think a lot of people are right in when they say that. So I think with United right now, it's a case of getting what we can out the rest of this season and then really hitting clear out in the summer. I actually don't think there's going to be much coming in United in the summer either. I think there's still that much work to do with the outgoings that United will bring in the odd one, makeshift deals like possibly Olise and getting rid of a player at the same time in WAN-BISSAKA. Maybe that then giving us the opportunity to buy in another right back, another centre back, another midfielder. And like I've always said all along, Mason Greenwood will be coming back. So the forward situation does take care of itself a bit. Manchester United, from what Fabrizio Romano was saying last night, was they will assess both Sancho and Greenwood in the summer. I don't know what there is to assess. Maybe they'll assess the situation and how they can move forward with it. There's only one outcome for United because, like I said on the show the other day, we can't really afford to sell Mason Greenwood for less than 100 million because in our absolute brainstorming United best, we managed to, in the deal for Jadon Sancho going to Getafe, give them a 20% sell-on clause. So if United sold Mason Greenwood, Getafe get 20% of that sell-on fee. Crazy, I know, absolutely mental, but welcome to the world of Manchester United and how this club is run. That's all it is. United will wait until the last minute again to save money and left to find players at the bottom of the barrel. I feel like this is why this January everything is moving towards just getting rid of what we can. I feel like that's why we're in this situation right now. I wouldn't. If we didn't buy anyone this month, I'm not bothered. I'm really not. The only thing I will say is if Martial goes, Sancho goes, and one of Palestri and Ahmad go, I think we probably need to bring in a forward on loan. And if Varane goes, we need to bring in a centre-back. That's what I'll say. I think everywhere else, I do believe we've got just about enough cover for the amount of games that we have got. Barring an absolute injury catastrophe again, but you can never predict. We are just going to have to use the youth team players. Like Kambawala came in. Mainoo has made his mark now. Obviously, Casemiro is back. But I feel like Manchester United now will just put in the wheels in motion. Just trying to get rid of everyone in the summer. There is a lot riding on our loanees playing well. There really is. Because you've got Donny van der Beek and Jadon Sancho, who are massive issues for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United. Both of them are coming back in the summer. So you're praying that Frankfurt want to take on Donny van der Beek after he's played well. We're all hoping that Donny, for his sake, he plays well and he gets that move as well. We're all hoping that Jadon Sancho can play well at Dortmund. Now, Dortmund, as we know in reports, Patrick Berger has been talking about this over in Germany, that they are financially strapped. They cannot buy anyone in the summer, let alone January. So they're looking to make money themselves before they bring anyone in. So Jadon Sancho won't be going to Dortmund on a permanent deal unless they do something miraculous within their own financial structure. So that's off. So Sancho comes back. Where is he going to go? Manchester United, I think, will have to do a cut price deal around the 30-40 million mark for Jadon Sancho, and out he goes. Donny van der Beek, we know, has got that buy option with Frankfurt. Hopefully they can take that up. We're hearing that, obviously, last night we were talking as well with Pellistri. If he goes on loan to Villarreal, there is a 17 million buy option for them as well for him. So in what we've got in terms of definite outings, I mean, we've done many shows before where we've added some money up together, but the big thing in what United have got right now is fringe players, big wages, get what you can, clear the deck, and then start from scratch. I think that's the only way we can go forward. So 17 million for Pellistri if he ends up going. I don't want him to. 15 for Donny van der Beek. There's 32. We managed to get rid of Jadon Sancho for 30-40 million, 60 odd million. Casemiro and Varane, I think they will both go. Got news on Casemiro coming up as well, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I reckon Manchester United from the fringe players are the ones that were looking to move on, like the big earners. Obviously, you could get rid of Martial for 6 or 7 million. Then you're talking, I reckon, if you said to me in the summer, with what we're working on right now, Martial, Donny van der Beek, Jadon Sancho, Facundo Pellistri, Casemiro, Varane. So you got, what, there, 6 players there that I think are at the top of the out list for Manchester United, going off the rumours and what's been reported so far. 80 million, 80 to 100 million there, with what we've got to spend in the summer, which is probably, going off reports, around about the 100 million again. A couple 100 million with a new transfer structure in place, then you could be looking at what, a decent summer for United, and new right back, new central defender, new central midfielder, possibly a forward, and obviously Mason Greenwood coming back. If you sold Mason Greenwood for good money, then you will be looking at maybe 5 players coming in the summer. I reckon right now, with the players that we're looking at, we're getting rid of, or supposedly getting rid of, maybe 4 players coming in the summer, max. That's how I would look at it. Nothing for mega money, just well-structured deals for players like Todibo, possibly Olise, possibly young players that we've now been scouting. I reckon no household names, just players that we know we can develop within a new structure. I think that's where we're going with it. Let's get into the chat and see where you guys are at. James says, I may pop down at some point to catch up pre-game. Please do, James. That'd be good. Dolby is free. Adam, we'll be deep in trouble if we only have outgoings for the sake of saving money. They're weakening the team, so to save funds. We have to save funds for when we can buy real players that are going to give us the future, I would say, Dolby. I don't think it's weakening us right now. I can't see Casemiro and Varane leaving this month, personally. If Varane does go, and there is a chance, apparently it's 50-50, then we need to bring in Aloni at least at centre-back, I feel. You could say Camboala could step into that. I think it's unfair on a young player to put that amount of pressure on him, but I do feel like right now INEOS are getting rid of everyone that they can see is a big problem, backing the manager on that side of it, but clearly they're not going to buy anyone in January and give the manager any more money, which I think is the right decision to make anyway. Even if we had money to spend, I wouldn't give it to Ten Hag in January, because there's a chance that he could be gone in the summer. See out the rest of this season with the savings that you've made and then hit it again. And it sounds like I'm writing off the season. I'm not. I want Ten Hag to be here at the end of this season because it means he's turned everything around and the players are on board and we go into a new season, new summer, with a whole new outlook. It also means that Ten Hag has accepted his new role at Manchester United under INEOS. If he doesn't, then he needs to go anyway. So Ten Hag has got 2 issues right now. The problem that we spoke about many a times this week regarding his position and the power that he wants at the club, that has to change. And then him actually doing his job in the first place and performing and getting United in the Champions League, or he's gone. Both ways, I feel he's out of a job and Manchester United are looking ahead. And you may see the likes of a Potter or someone like that coming into United who aren't going to be too fussed about coming to United and working on a shoestring budget, a different structure, a different type of approach. I think that's how it's going to be. And let's be honest, I don't think any United fan can argue the point that if United don't go out and buy big name players this summer and we're under a completely different look, different structure and everything like that, I don't think anyone can complain, because it's just not worked for us, has it? Galactical players don't work for United. The right players that we used to buy back in the day were players that fit a system that was working, a well-oiled machine, you would say. One or two hand-picked players that fit the system perfectly. But until you've got that oiled machine, you've got that well-run ship and everything is just moving in the right direction, but you need to add to that bit. You need to add to it to get that bit of quality. I don't think we can go out and buy them types of players until we're at that stage. That is now. It is a full restructure. It is a full back to the basics. Back to basics Man United right now. That's where we're at. That's what we have to accept. More in the chat. What would be fantastic, James? That would be... Oh, sorry. Graham's going on with James, having your own little conversation there. I'd sell Rashford in the summer after the Euros if he is picked. That's an interesting one, Damon. I mean, Rashford may be up for sale. I don't know. You could actually... A new manager would come in and go, well, you just don't fit my plans altogether. You just don't know. I think if someone like Potter came in, Rashford stays. I'm not just saying that's the English connection, but I feel like Potter would not be a big enough manager with enough character or enough strength of character to get rid of the likes of a Rashford or these types of players. This is why the structure is also important, because the manager shouldn't be the one that is making these decisions. The manager should come in and say, yeah, I like to play this way. This is how it's going to work. If there's anyone on this list that you can get rid of, I can work without, then go for it. I feel like the club, the structure should be the one that determines who stays and who goes off performances. The manager can have his input and his say and run and coach the team and everything like that. But ultimately, I don't think the pressure should be put on the manager. I think the club should be working as one, all know the exact same goals and exact same way that we want to play football. And then everyone works to make that come together. And that makes it easier for the coaches, the manager and everything like that. The decisions are sort of taken away automatically in that. Chris says, Erik ten Hag team selections are baffling. If Onana plays before Bain Day, then honestly, I'm lost. He will, Chris. He's playing against Wigan tomorrow. I can guarantee you that. I know that for certain. Crypto says, the way structure is possible, the most important thing that INEOS needs to address. I think they are addressing that and it will be sorted. I do believe that the new wage structure... Manchester United have already started on this without INEOS, with the likes of David De Gea and Cristiano Ronaldo. Rafael Varane isn't going to be on the same wages, and neither is Casemiro. Now, Manchester United are reportedly ready to let Casemiro go. So this is the first sort of noises we've had come out saying Casemiro's name. They've been muted, but there's some sources today around saying that Manchester United are also ready to let the likes of Casemiro go. So alongside Varane, Casemiro again, I feel is a player that will definitely be out the door come the summer. I don't think Manchester United will go past this. I think they'll try and cash in. Maybe grab a 10, 15 million pound fee for Casemiro. I know it seems like nothing, but I do think that that's what we're looking at for a player in his now 31. 15 million, what's he worth? What would you take for Casemiro? I think the fact that Kobe Mainoo has come in has definitely helped. But the issue we've got right now is, obviously we've got Scott McTominay, who we know is not good enough. Squad player, plays his part, but can't be a first team player. Casemiro is a first team player, so whatever Manchester United do in the summer, if Casemiro does leave, it has to be a first team player and not a sort of potential you just don't know type of player. I think a lot of money needs, not so much a lot of money, but most of the budget needs to be in a properly scouted holding midfielder or number 8 or someone who can do both roles for me. I feel like that's where the majority of Manchester United's money needs to be spent. I think we can get a good centre-back for the right price. I think Todibo, with INEOS owning Nice, I think we can make this deal happen. Now that Spurs are in for Ragusin from Genoa, I feel like that's gone. Chelsea are chasing Silva because they just like the big names. Let them go and self-destruct. That's fine. I think Manchester United, the path has been paved for Todibo to come in the summer. I really do. I think Varane will definitely be out of the door, one way or the other. I think he's either gone in January or he's out in the summer on a free transfer. It'd be a shame if we let Varane go for free, because I think we can actually get money for him. But he holds all the cards at the moment because United are restructuring. So I feel like Manchester United will be able to negotiate a good price for Todibo because of the links and everything like that. I think that's what will happen there. If WAN-BISSAKA goes and Olise comes in, then what have you spent there? Possibly 50 million combined for Todibo and Olise with what we could get for WAN-BISSAKA. I think WAN-BISSAKA is worth 30 million personally. And if Olise is round about 60 million, I think we can get Todibo for 25, 30. Then I think we're looking at what, 50, 60 million spent, 2 players in, will improve us and are good to work around going forward for the future. And then you're looking at that central midfielder, and that's where most of the budget needs to go. I think we can get another right back, or we can get a makeshift, not so much makeshift, but a young developed right back, or someone who can come in and actually improve alongside the defence that we've got. Maybe actually thinking about it, we probably do need to invest properly at right back as well. So it just depends what we can do with the outgoings. It depends on what happens with Mason Greenwood and Jadon Sancho. Like reports are saying, that is important, and how much Manchester United can generate from that. Firmino to the summer. Adam, no, Paul, we don't want Firmino. Definitely won't happen ever. Will United move on Eriksen at the end of the season? That's another one, Stephanie, that we need to start talking about. Personally, I mean, if he wants a rolling contract, I'd keep Eriksen. I do think he can play a role for United for at least another season. I don't think he's a starter, personally. I think, I'm not a starter every single week. He can't play 2 games a week. I feel like he isn't strong enough or quick enough, but he can still play a part. I'd like to have him around, is what I would say, as a free transfer and not costing a lot. If he wasn't costing a lot, I'm happy for him to stay. If he wants substantial wages again and things like that, then it's time to move on. We need to make room. Instead of Eriksen, you could have the likes of Hannibal after his loan period. If he does go out on loan this month, you could have him there instead. These are the possibilities right now for United. You've also got Mason Mount there who plays that position. So if Eriksen wants to stay, then I'm happy for him to stay, but it won't be on any better deal, anything like that. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, I would move on Eriksen if he wanted anything improving in his deal, but if he wanted the same sort of deal, I would keep him. I would. I think he does add value to this team, and he can play a big role for us. Mike Fergus says, technically Todibo will be a free, as Sir Jim will be in theory only moving money from one bank account to his other. I don't think the Nice fans will be happy with that one, no, where you were breaking that down there, Mike, but I know what you mean. Bringing Firmino is not putting the Manchester United in Manchester. No, Xiao, it's not. It's only a passing comment. I don't think that would ever happen. United never buy Liverpool players directly from Liverpool. They don't. I know we did Michael Owen, but I just don't think Firmino would even think about coming to United. And he's at that age where we don't want that type of player anyway. So that's why it's a complete no-go. Damon says, I really think Casemiro's biggest problem at United is the language. Sometimes he reacts a little too slow because of communication. Apart from that, he's quality. He is learning English. He is a very well-educated man, Casemiro. And I do believe he had the opportunity to actually study at Oxford as well, Casemiro. If you read into his bio and his history and his life and his upbringing, that was an option for him. He is very well educated and he picks up on things very quick. So I don't think his English is all that bad. I think he already he's getting the gist of it. He's getting the hang of it, I would say. Darren says, I don't want to lose Casemiro, but he has to get back to his form of last season. Will he manage to do it from now until the end of this season? That's when we really, really need Casemiro to be hitting that form that we've seen last season. Let's be honest. Financially, it doesn't make sense allowing the present team to spend, as in the present structure. United, not INEOS, do you mean with that? I think that's what you mean by that. Malcolm says, let's sell Scott, Maguire, Rashford and Bruno and rebuild. I think Bruno's still got a role. I do. I think he's getting unfair stick. I do believe with another manager, I think Bruno would be good. I just don't think Ten Hag is getting the best out of Bruno Fernandes. I think your asset is worth paying the buyout clause. Good backup striker. Wages won't be too high. Luke, yeah, I don't even think he would be a backup striker. I think he would come and want to play. And 15 million buyout clause is definitely one that I don't think any team can complain about. And I think all the big guns will be looking at him. In fact, I think Bayern Munich are actually, and have actually made contact with Stuttgart on that deal. So we may lose out again on that one. That's if United were interested in the first place, because apparently we're not going to buy anyone at all. It's loans only for January, no signings, no permanent deals. That is a definite no. That's the word from INEOS. So, yeah, with United only looking to make loans, the priority is getting players out and then seeing what the rest of the squad looks like. I think they're just putting all their eggs in the everyone's coming back from injury basket, and then they're just holding on to that. Can everyone in the chat just give the video a like now? Let's just get up to 150. Cheers for the update, Graham. Just give the video a like, please, everyone. Let's get to that 150 mark. We're moving on nicely. The issue with Bruno is consistency, says Malcolm. Yes, I think that's the issue with every single United player this season. Jabtastic TV. If we lose, Ten Hag's gone. I hope everyone good. Keep it up, Adam. Thanks for that, Jabtastic. Love that comment. I think if Ten Hag loses again, this is the thing. I'm going to put a poll up now, actually. Right, here we go. Okay, poll is up now, guys. Just your initial thoughts right now. A lot of people actually think that Ten Hag should have already been gone, but do you feel it is enough for Ten Hag to be sacked if we lose at Wigan tomorrow night? I think it is. Personally, I think that if Ten Hag loses this game against Wigan, he's gone. That, for me, is unforgivable as a United fan. There are some that will disagree with me on this one. I accept that. That's no problem at all, guys. But for me, you cannot lose. All the excuses that have come out, I don't like. I don't like anyone making any excuses. I don't think Ten Hag is owning his own responsibility and his own errors right now. He's come out and said, the book lies with me. It's my fault in certain games. Yes, the obvious, you have to, like the Bournemouth game. How you can't have your team fully prepared for that game is beyond a joke. And again, we've not played for, what, gone on nearly, 9-10 days now? Players coming back, everyone fully fit, everyone fully rested. He's been talking in the press conference in the embargo section about everyone rested, but we need to be prepared for the next game. Yeah, well, that's an obvious answer, I know. But Manchester United losing to Wigan would be the end of Ten Hag, in my opinion. That would put me in that out column. That's unforgivable. Manchester United have got one trophy option this season, one trophy hope, and that is the FA Cup. And we can win the FA Cup. Manchester United can definitely win this FA Cup. I'm not accepting going out to Wigan after the season we've had. I am not accepting that. That is just me. That is my opinion on this one. And obviously the season can take an upturn even with a defeat against Wigan. But that's it. No trophies. January, first week of January, completely out of every single trophy that we entered at the start of the season. That's unforgivable. That really is. It really is. If he loses, yeah, he should go, says Kaz. I don't think he will, though. I think INEOS want to settle in. They're just sat and had talks, so won't sack him after one game. Yeah, no, I understand that. I don't think they would, but for me, I think that is a sackable offence. I don't think Ten Hag should keep his job if he loses to Wigan. That's my opinion alone. I don't think the club will do, like Kaz says there, but I don't think so. Crypto, top 4 is the target. If we lose to Wigan and it's got to do with the team selection, he should be gone. Adam, so if you say he's gone if we lose, who do we get in? At the end of the day, mate, the season is pretty much done. I'm just saying, you cannot manage Manchester United and lose to Wigan in the FA Cup after everything else that's gone on. There will be some interim manager, I know. But honestly, if we lose to Wigan, I've got no hope of him actually turning it around for the top 4. I've not. I talked last night about how I only see us. I'm confident of winning 5 of the last 18 games when you look at them all on paper. Look at the amount of games that Manchester United have got left in the league. Look at who we're playing and tell me how many of them games you can hand on heart say I'm confident we will get the points there. And come back to me at the 6:30 show tonight and see how many points you think we're going to get and if that's enough. Even if Ten Hag improves United from the start of this season, the first half of the season, there's no guarantee that that's going to get in top 4. It's not. And his big problem is Antony. I said it last night. He's effectively getting rid of Hannibal and Palestra, and he's thinking that McTominay and Antony are our best options. They're the ones that have been playing most of this season. They're the ones that have put us where we are so far this season also. And for me, yeah, that's on Ten Hag. He had an option to change things up, do something different, but he hasn't done it. I understand what everyone's saying. I've got no idea who comes back in. I just feel like that is unforgivable as a Manchester United manager. It is. It really is. We'd rather lose FA Cup and try to focus on top 4. Interesting. Ten Hag should have been sacked 3 months ago, says Andrew. I would do this swap deal. We get Eze and Bruno Fernandes goes in the opposite direction. No, I wouldn't get rid of Bruno. Not yet. Hannibal isn't good enough, Adam. I think he is. I think he's got potential to be where McTominay is now as part of this squad. This is the old argument I've had all along. Like the blockers I see as McTominay, Lindelof. These are the players that I've got the big issue with. The one that the club have clung on to and have not given the chance for the likes of a Hannibal to develop or even being given a chance. That's my issue with this. Diallo will go out on loan against 2 in the window. Again, 2 in the window. I think you meant by that there, Paul. I would say Eric Ten Hag if INEOS could persuade Joan Lopetegui, says Graham. Lopetegui's the man for Graham. Ed says if he loses, he goes at the end of the season. If we had a bad run, he goes at the end of the season. In short, if INEOS is of mind, he goes at the end of the season. I know what you mean by that, Ed. I do. There are clear signs that it isn't going to work for Ten Hag. He has to really convince me now. I think is what I'm saying out of all of this. I feel like Ten Hag has got a lot of convincing to do. And I'm not going to forgive him if he loses against Wigan. But in saying that, I do think we will smash Wigan. I do. I think we will batter him. And I don't think Ten Hag will lose his job. Or people will be calling for his head. Because I do think that Manchester United will turn up at the DW and we will beat Wigan. I think a 3-0 win. And I think we move on to Spurs. Then he has got a big challenge. And that's what I want to challenge you lot with. If you are tuning in tonight, you should be tuning in tonight. Please do. 6:30, live show. I want to know, look at all 18 games left in the league, everybody. I'm going to bring this back up later on. I did it last night in the show, but I forgot to ask everyone. Go away, here's your homework for today. Go away, look at them 18 games left in the league, and come back and tell me how many games you're confident, just looking at where United are now, that we are going to win that game. I'll give you an example. A confident game for me is beating Sheffield United at home. That's one of the games. That's one I can safely say I'm confident Manchester United will win. That's what I mean by that. So, yeah, go away and just have a look at that, then come back to me later tonight and go, I think we're going to win this amount of games. That's what I'm going to do with the show tonight, as well as all the other news coming up. Hopefully we're going to have a guest on tonight as well, just to mix it up a little bit for you guys. But yeah, that's what we've got installed later. So go away. That's your little bit of homework from FUTV today, guys. The chat right now on the poll: if we lose to Wigan, does Erik ten Hag get the sack? 49% say yes, 51% say no. It is right on a knife edge right now with Ten Hag. It really is, on the whole fan base. John O'Neill says, I'm hoping for a high score tomorrow, just like we used to beat them. I was at the one when we beat them 4-0. Wigan always used to be a good whipping boy game for Manchester United, didn't it? We used to smash them every single time. And it was one of them that you could put your house on usually. United against Wigan, 6 easy points in the season it used to be. Can't believe Wigan actually used to be in the Premier League. That is crazy, isn't it? Andrew says, Hansi Flick or Simeone Inzaghi as Man United manager is who I want. I don't think any of them are going to come to the football club, Andrew. I really don't. But yeah, just to break down all of the news again, guys, if you had just tuned in, we're just wrapping things up. But yes, Manchester United are looking at the possibility of bringing in Michael Olise. We knew that. But added to that now, there is a possible make-weight news coming out this morning in a few of the tabloids as well, that we're looking to maybe add Aaron Wan-BISSAKA into the deal as well. So Cash and Aaron Wan-BISSAKA, I probably guess it would be. Looking like the buyout is around about 60 million for Olise. So I reckon Aaron Wan-BISSAKA would cover half of that. Personally, I think that's what Wan-BISSAKA is worth. But that is your main headline. And United, like we knew was going to say, reports coming out that we are looking to also shift Casemiro one in the summer. Another big earner at the football club. United also looking to get rid of him. And yeah, from last night's news, Everton now trying to hijack Hannibal's move on loan to Sevilla. We know that Donny's gone. We know where Sancho is right now. It could be in a couple of days more. It's just dragged on a little bit with a few details being ironed out. United not happy that the fee has been leaked out in the press. And there is an option for Villarreal possibly to take Facundo Pellistri on loan with an option of a 17 million buyout as well. So, yeah, stay tuned for everything. If anything does break, I'll be here bringing it to you guys. But past that, we are back at 6:30 tonight, 6:30. Please join us. That's UK time. But thank you so much for joining us in this morning show. We are bringing you the content thick and fast. Always something to talk about. Always great detail and chats to have regarding United and all the news. Not just breaking news, just bringing you guys in and getting your opinions as much as possible, which is what I love. But that is it for this morning. Back later, like we said. Like, share and subscribe, especially if you tune in for the first time. And we move on. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you later on.